Okay, so this is section 5.2, solving systems of linear equations by substitution. This is the set of problems where I gave you 9 different problems to do. These first 3 with the dice is substitution because they're giving you the answer. They're giving you a coordinate pair, and they're asking you to find out which system of equations does this solve. So you're going to take these and plug them in or substitute them in to the equations to see which one it works. So I'm going to do exercise 1 really quick. So x plus 2y equals 6. So does 2 plus 2 times, and I always put my variable in parentheses, 3 equal 6? So again, x was 2, y was 3, because the white cube is x and the blue cube is y. Okay, so 2 times 3, I do parentheses first, that's 6. 2 plus 6 equals 6. And you don't even need to write this last step, actually, because you can tell that 2 plus 6 is not going to be 6. So 8 does not equal 6, so therefore this is not the correct answer. X plus y equals 5. We can do that one in our head, really. 2, I'm going to write it right over top. 2 plus 3 equals 5. It does. So that one works. But for it to be the correct answer, it has to work for both of them. So does 2 minus 3 equal -1? And 2 minus 3 does equal -1. So we have a match. Now, it's very important that you make sure it matches for both equations. It might match one, but not the other, or it might match neither. So you have to check for both equations and make sure it's true. So in this case, we found a match for both. So it's going to be this answer here. So if I clear the ink, go to my pointer real quick and put that up there. Okay. Now, hopefully you can do exercise 2 and 3 on your own based on that example. So I'm going to go to exercise 4, and we're going to use the substitution method once again to solve that. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to say that if y equals x minus 4 and y equals 4x minus 10, then we can substitute this into there. So that must mean that x minus 4 equals 4x minus 10. And if you struggled with your algebra in chapters 1 and 4, then it's really going to hurt you here, because this is where we're solving an equation with variables on both sides. So now we have an equation with only one variable. When that's the case, we can solve for that variable. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of x on one side or the other. I'm going to get rid of this x here. And now I have, this cancels out, -4 equals 3x minus 10. And now I have a two-step equation. Add 10 to both sides. Plus 10 plus 10. And this cancels out. -4 plus 10 is 6 equals 3x. Now I divide both sides by 3, and I get, I'm going to skip showing that to save time, I get x is equal to 2. Okay, so now I know that this is going to be 2. But I need to find the solution, so I also need to know what y is. How am I going to figure that out? Well, I'm going to substitute my answer back into one of the original equations, and it doesn't matter which one. So y equals, instead of writing x minus 4, I'm going to write 2 minus 4. And 2 minus 4 is, of course, -2. So y is equal to -2. And then for good measure, I can use the other equation to check my work. Y equals 4x minus 10, so that means -2 should equal 4 times x, which x was 2, minus 10. And I'm not going to show the work for this check, but I'm going to explain really quickly. Do parentheses first. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 10 is negative 2. So this equation is true. Therefore, I must have the right answer. So it's 2 and negative 2. Okay. Now I need to clear that, and I'm going to go down to do one more example here. Hopefully you can do this one and this one on your own, based on what I just told you. But now we have ones that are a little bit more difficult because they're asking you, you're going to have to use the distributive property. So let me do one of those examples. Exercise 6. Okay, so x is equal to 2y plus 7. 3x minus 2y equals negative 3. Find the isolated variable. That's this one, the top one, right here. So then we're going to substitute this in for this, and that way we'll have an equation with one variable, and then we can solve it. So 3x, but instead of x, I'm going to put 2y plus 7. And again, you should be writing this down if I'm writing this down, because this will be good. An example. So again, what I did was, instead of writing x, I wrote this. So I substituted this for that, like that. And then I have to finish writing the equation though. So all that minus 2y equals 3. Okay, distribute first. So now that's 6y plus 21 minus 2y equals 3. And then combine like terms, 6y minus 2y is 4y plus 21 equals 3. Subtract 21 from both sides. Minus 21. 4y equals negative 18. Divide both sides by 4. And I'm going to get y equals, let's see, 4 with 2 left over. So negative 4 2/4, or 4.5. So now, after all of that, we're only halfway done. We found this is negative 4.5. So now we have to plug it in to the original equation to find out what x is. So x is equal to 2 times 4.5, which will be nice because that'll give us 9, plus 7. So x equals, distribute, 2 times 4.5 is 9. Oh, whoops, negative 9. This should be negative 4.5. So negative 9 plus 7. Very important you don't miss those negatives because you'll get the wrong answer. Negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2. So x is equal to negative 2. And then we can plug it into the other equation to make sure that we are correct. So